You know, what are you making of the market action? There's so much noise out there, and most of it is not good news.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot going on as always, and that's creating volatility for markets and a lot of kind of short-term noise. So I think the key is just to continue to kind of look through the noise and focus on the fundamentals as we do at Aberdeen when we're trying to pick and select stocks. And there, I think there is still pockets of decent growth and opportunity. So it's not all doom and gloom.
So tell me, when you look at Asian equities, you know, where are you finding these opportunities, and how are you looking at currently the economic situation in China, where it seems that bad news is prevailing?
So China is one of the markets actually that we are still seeing opportunities in. Yes, it's true to say that the kind of post-pandemic rebound that everyone was expecting to come through very sharply hasn't materialized in the way that the market was expecting it to. I mean, we are seeing a recovery. It's just, I think, lagging behind expectations, and there are a number of reasons for that. But from a market and sort of share price standpoint, that's driving declines in prices, and valuations are getting to relatively more attractive levels, and therein lies the opportunity from our perspective for companies that we think will continue to see a recovery, maybe not as quickly as the market was expecting, but it will come through. There is still huge pent-up demand, and we're still expecting consumer spending to recover. So this is actually, from our perspective, an interesting time to be looking at consumer names in China, looking at some of the more kind of domestic-focused companies, those that are a little bit more insulated from the geopolitical headwinds, and there is value still, I think, in the internet sector as well.
So does that mean that you look at the same kind of thing? I'm assuming that you're perhaps looking at the consumer, perhaps staples in particular, but is that a theme that you're looking at across this part of the world right now? And if so, is there any kind of differentiation between the types of consumption equities that you're looking at in various parts of the continent?
So we like the consumer theme across particularly emerging Asia. So it's closely tied, of course, to the kind of emerging middle classes and wealth levels over the sort of medium to long term, and that's a structural driver that's still very, very much in place despite near-term concerns. I think for the nearer term, the staples tend to be that bit more defensive, and I think with inflation pressures kind of easing a bit, that's helping margins. Input cost pressures that had been present for many of these companies are now coming off, and so earnings should pick up a bit there. Consumer discretionary would be obviously the other key segment within the broader consumer sector. That's a little bit more difficult to navigate and varies from market to market. To take India as an example, there's definitely been some declines with inflationary pressure there, but there are still pockets of that sector that are also delivering strong earnings growth still.